Hi, this is Sandy Joe from rhinestonetemplates.com, and I wanted to make this little video to show you guys about my rhinestone alphabets and fonts that I have, and they're called RT fonts, and they're RT TTF fonts, which is a true type font, which is a font that you put into your Windows font folder and you can type out on with your keyboard. The other one is an RT font, which is for rhinestone templates, and it's RT Eps or SVG file or another format if you need it, and those come in like this one is over here, and it comes in as an EPS file, and you can take and duplicate the letters and then go ahead and arrange them how you want them to say what you want. But let's go ahead and get started, and I will pull up my fonts have already been installed into my Windows, so I'll go ahead and pull up some of the fonts that we'll work with and just look and see. Let's pull a GG up. The GG is the same as over here, so I'll go ahead and I'll type out, you know, in capital and small letters just like you normally would, dog lover, and as you can see compared to these sizes over here, this comes in quite small. So what we do with the RT TTF fonts, the true type fonts that you type out, is you actually go and you enlarge them, and then if you have a software program, you what I do is I come over and I just draw a rectangle, and for the rhinestone software stuff, then I'll just go ahead and I will stone that box, and that'll give me the size of the stone that I really want. I'm going to be working with a 10 SS stone, so I really want a 14 SS to size up for a big enough hole for cutting. And I can see I've got this too large. So what we do is we just bring it down and bring it over and go ahead and find out if it's the same size or if it's not. And I'll show you a couple of workarounds for that too, on different ways of doing a couple of different things. Again, I know this black dot here, I know this is sized up for 14 SS stone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over, and my pink, the dog lover, is laying underneath. I want it to be on top. I go up to my shape tool in Corel or wherever you're at and bring it to the front. I want it to my front layer so it sits over the top. So you go ahead and bring it to the front, and I can see that I need to size up my pink ones, my dog lover, a little bit bigger. So I go ahead and I just drag my corner, and that will make all the stones bigger if you bring it from the corner, not from the sides or not from the bottom. And I just keep coming over and working that over my black one, because that's my sizer, just to see. And we're pretty clear. If it's kind of close, like this right here, if it's kind of close, you'll be just fine. It'll just be a little bit smaller, a little bit larger than what the other is. And at this point, I can find out I have this at 12.6 inches. And there are two ways now of working with these. They're all stuck together, and you can't ungroup them because it was a T-type that came in and was typed in together. So there are two different ways you can break all this apart per stone if you want to. You can do it too by just going into the characters of text and doing each letter, but I like to break the whole thing apart. And one way is just taking it and exporting it in any file that you have as EPS file, and then bringing it back into whatever program you're working in, and then ungroup it or break all, and it will automatically, every stone will be separated out, and you can move whatever you want around. Don't be alarmed when you look from far away and you see things that look like gappy and they don't look like circles. As soon as you take those and you enlarge them, you can see that everything is fine and they're all spaced well, and they will work out well. Another way of finding out how to go ahead and get to each one of these stones separately and do some kerning and some different things is just, if you have a rhinestone software program like WinPC or another one, just go ahead and bring up your stone chart, your transformation chart here, and I'm just going to restone over these stones when they're grouped like this. And what will happen is they will go ahead and go over it like they just did, and they got rid of the pink ones, and now they're in black. And now each stone, I could take and move each stone around as much as I want to move it around, and it would be just fine, and I wouldn't, let's bring that in a little bit closer. I wouldn't have a problem with doing something on the order of, you know, coming in here and, let's get rid of that, coming in here and moving lover just a little bit closer if I wanted to. and so this will make this a little different size. Also, I'm not real crazy. I want to see, I think, a stone right in here. So I want to go ahead and I want to stick a stone right in that area right there. So I would just go ahead and grab a stone, throw it in there, get it, work with my 4-way key so that it stays nice and at the right thing, and then move this one just a little bit just to fill that in, and I think that just looks a little bit better. Let's go ahead here. Yep, that's a little bit better. So you can work with it like that if you want to, or you can also take and, at this point you can move anything you want. So you could go ahead and take this and you could move it down here if you wanted to. We could bring actually these letters a little bit closer together if we're going to be going on a smaller size, say a tank top or something on that effect if you wanted to. I'm working in WinPC 2010 right now, and this particular program, there is a new program out right now, 2012, that has some amazing features in it. And but I still will work and educate in 2010 at the same time until everybody's converted over, just so that nobody's left behind with not being able to work on any software or rhinestones or anything that they're working with. And I'm just bringing my letters over a little bit closer here, and you have the ability to do that if you break that apart, which works out just great. And now we're at about 10 inches, which I think is about perfect for a shirt. And so that's how you work with the RTT True Type fonts. And the ones that are typable, TTF is the typable rhinestone fonts. Now let's take this over here, which is the RT EPS download or SVG fonts, and this is the same font we were working with over on the other side. And what I do for this is I go ahead and I draw a rectangle. I use this as my ruler for my lineups. Lineups are alphabets that we take and put a little box around it and cut out separately, so we can use this alphabet over and over and over and don't have to cut a template every time we want a different name or a different team name or anything like that, so we could take and use this over and over. So let's go ahead and grab I'm just duplicating my letters here and putting it down on my ruler spacebar there so that I know I have everything the right size. If you let's actually work with the small fonts here. If you ever are working and you see this black ghosting on any of your programs, hit your refresh button, and that gets rid of any of that ghosting that you might have on any of your programs. So sometimes when we work with a lot of graphics, it just kind of brings some stuff over. And so you just do this, you just duplicate it and bring things over and create your own little way of separating or kerning and putting your letters all together, and it kind of makes your own thing too, and not necessarily the way that I've done it for you in the True Type fonts. You can really be a little more creative if you work with these. I believe that these EPS SVGs are a little bit easier to work with until you get to know your TTFs, but once you get to know your TTFs, it's very easy to work with both these types of alphabets and fonts. Some of my very ornate alphabets, my ladybugs and my flower ones and my zebras and all of those type of things, sometimes I only put them in the EPS download ones because of the multicolors and multi-sizes of stones in each particular font. It's a lot easier than doing it with a TTF. So just grab what it is that you like to work with, but you can see too that this turned out really good. This is at 11 inches, and I could gain a little bit of space if I went like that, and brought it in a little bit more, and then I brought it into 10 inches. But I just wanted to explain to you a little bit on how you work with your TTFs and your EPS RT fonts. And if you have any questions at all, let me know. But when you are checking out on the website, the EPS and the SVG fonts will all be listed under Download Library, and the TTF fonts will have their own listing, so it'll tell you that it's a True Type typable font, and that's an easy way to remember it, that if you're going to be typing with it, that it's a true type font, and you'll need to insert those into your Windows folder, and they will show up in many programs. They'll show up into Corel, they'll show up into, I've got DOS, I've got a lot of different programs besides WinPC, and they will show up in anything that a Windows font will show up into, so you'll be able to work with those, and people without software will be able, you'll be able to work with these too. I have lots of downloads on my website, so you could get my dog paw, you could get my, get a TTF font here, go ahead and, type out dog lover, throw out dog paw on it or in the background of it, and you have yourself a customized handset, if you wanted to, a handset template to handset stones on, or to run through your cutter too. So you really don't even need software nowadays if you didn't want it. If you do and you want to customize everything yourself, that's okay, but there's a couple of us out there doing quite a bit of downloads that between my site and their site, you're going to be able to pick up quite a few downloads, so it gives you a great variety of different things to do. Or if you're just getting started, it's a great way to start without investing in all the software and machines and stuff. If you don't want to, I'd get the machine first and then maybe the software second. But if you need any help, I'm Sandy Jo at rhinestonetemplates.com. Have a great fun time with my fonts. I'm creating just tons and tons of them, so keep your eyes open. I don't put everything on my website that I have for sale because I don't like the stuff to be oversold. So if you're looking for something special, or you want a special font for me to work on or something, just request it, see if I have it. If not, I can create it. And like I said, I don't put all of my stuff out there so that it's not oversold, and so your customers aren't seeing it all out there too when they go looking, so it's a little more exclusive in that aspect. But if you need anything, just give a holler. Sandy Jo at rhinestonetemplates.com. Thank you.